What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. Today, it is the final video of 2021, the Week 21 Premier League predictions, and we set a goal this year to reach 20,000 subscribers by the new year, and we are less than 100 away. So if you're new around here, please do click subscribe down below. Let's see if we can get 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is tomorrow. I want to give a massive shout out to the new members, Hassan, Tolan, and Augustine Offer, who joined the TF90 Super Tipsters Members Club, as well as the accumulators, the tips, the exclusive videos. I've now created a members only prediction league, and the person at the end of the season who has the most correct predictions, the most points, they will win a cash prize. I haven't yet decided on the amount, but I think it's going to be maybe about $100 to the winner of that. So if you want to join the members club and get the exclusive tips, as well as joining the exclusive prediction league for a chance to win a cash prize, then you can click the join button or the link down below. And also, maybe if we get 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll consider doing an AFCON series. I wasn't planning on doing it, but maybe we could do group stage predictions, at least that sort of thing. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know down in the comments, as well as including your week 21 predictions. I'm going to give a shout out to Hayden, the Leicester Fox, who left their predictions on the previous video. They were the only comment that I saw that predicted Leicester to beat Liverpool. There was probably some Leicester fan bias in there, but they also predicted the Chelsea-Brighton draw, and those were the two results that I was looking for, and they absolutely smashed it. So if you want a chance to be featured in the next episode, then leave your predictions down in the comments below. There was someone who got every single correct score, but they commented after all the games happened. You ain't slick, buddy. But moving on, week 21, kicking off, we have an absolute banger. It's Arsenal up against Manchester City at the Emirates. Now, as an Arsenal fan, I do think Arsenal are doing very, very well. It's a breath of fresh air seeing the defensive output that they've shown this season with all of the new signings. I think a lot of people looked at their £150 million spending in the summer and thought they haven't improved the squad. But now that these players are coming into their own, you can see that they really, really have. And I think a lot of us, that we took it for granted. We thought maybe they didn't do a good job. They actually have done a very good job. However, I don't think they're going to beat Manchester City. Arsenal have had a little bit of rest. You know, they didn't play their postponed game against Wolves, so they will be fresh. I think Man City are a little bit too good. They left out Raheem Sterling, Riyad Mahrez, and Gundogan against Brentford. They managed to get a 1-0 win, and I think they're going to be too much for Arsenal. As a fan, I hope Arsenal get a result. I hope Arsenal can score. But I'm just going to go with the old narrative of City just dominating everyone. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Manchester City. My tip here, I just couldn't look past it. You'll very rarely get this value for Man City at a -1 handicap. Man City -1 at 2.3. I think if Arsenal score once, City can score 3. I don't see Arsenal getting anything out of this game. I hope they do, but the value, looking at Manchester City -1, it's hard to look past that. Speaking of value, coming up we have Leicester up against Norwich. Leicester managed to beat Liverpool. They were sort of dominated, like it was against the run of play, that win, but they defended resolutely at the end. The last 20 minutes or so, Liverpool were knocking on the door. They weren't knocking on the door, they were battering down the door, but the final hinge stayed on. Kasper Schmeichel finally had a good performance. He's been statistically one of the worst keepers in the Premier League, and I think Kasper Schmeichel is a great keeper. But you saw it in the Man City game. City didn't have tons of shots on target, but they scored 6 goals. Kasper Schmeichel has the worst shots on target to goal ratio out of all the keepers in the league this season. And like I said, I think he's a very good keeper. So Leicester had a great performance. Norwich lost 3-0 to Crystal Palace. It was woeful. I got the Crystal Palace game bang on, really. Win to 0 by more than a goal. We absolutely smashed it. Leicester are going to destroy Norwich here. I'm going to go for a 4-0 win to Leicester. Again, another handicap tip. Leicester -1 at 2. That's unbelievable. Leicester are going to win by 2 or more goals. They just are. I'm not going to go as far as say that's a banker, but at evens, just chuck a single on it. Chuck £10 on that, you get £20 back. I don't see that not happening. Norwich will get a shock result from somewhere, but it's not at the King Power Stadium against this Leicester side that just beat Liverpool. After that, we have Watford up against Tottenham. Watford, another game that I predicted pretty much bang on against West Ham. There to be loads of goals, Watford to score and to lose. Tottenham were really unlucky not to beat Southampton. I thought the disallowed goal on Kane for offside is very, very harsh. I think the rule should change to the body part that you score with. Like, if your shoulder's a tiny bit offside, but your shoulder plays no part in you scoring the goal, you should just get the goal, like if it's that close. And also, when it was given a foul, when the Southampton keeper, Forster, dropped the ball, it just wasn't a foul. So I think Tottenham were robbed, and I'm saying that as an Arsenal fan. I think Tottenham were the better team, but either way, I think Tottenham are going to win here. I think Watford are going to score again. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Tottenham. My tip is, once again, Tottenham to win in over 1.5 goals at 2.05. There's no way Tottenham lose this game. After that, Crystal Palace up against West Ham. Two fantastic performances from the two teams. A goal conceded by West Ham, 0 conceded by Crystal Palace, and 7 scored between them. I think this is going to be an entertaining game. Crystal Palace look good. Maybe Vieira will be back on the sidelines now. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win to West Ham. It seems that despite the congested fixtures for them, they looked still great against Watford. I think they can just do enough to get a win against Crystal Palace. But in case it is a draw, in case Palace do win, my tip is both teams to score at 1.75. Now, coming up after that, we have Brentford up against Aston Villa. I think this is going to be a very difficult game for both sides. I'm going to keep it low scoring. I think Brentford at home, they are good for a goal against most teams. And I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And my tip is Aston Villa double chance and under 3.5 goals at 1.83. Because Villa could win this 1-0. They could win this 2-0. Like when Brighton beat Brentford. But it could easily be a 1-1 draw, and I don't see there being 4 or more goals, so that's why my tip is that. Next up, we have Everton up against Brighton. This is impossible to predict again. Everton didn't play their game against Newcastle. It was postponed, and Brighton were well worth their draw against Chelsea. Chelsea missed a couple of chances, but the overall run of play, Brighton actually, I think they might have had more possession than Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and they created some decent chances, and in the end deserved the draw, and that's what Brighton love to do. I think away at Goodison Park, it's not an easy place to go for teams below. You know, I would say for teams like Brighton, who are traditionally a lesser team than Everton. So I'm going to go for another draw. Brighton draws so many games. And I think Everton could possibly win this one 1-0, 2-1 with the rest they've had. But I'm not going to look past Brighton getting another draw here. So I'm going to go for a 1-1. My tip, again, similar to the Villa tip. It's basically the better team not to lose and there to be not many goals. Everton double chance and under 3.5 goals at 1.75. Now, after that, we have Leeds up against Burnley. This one, again, is so difficult to predict. Both teams coming off of missed games. Burnley, at the time of recording, are due to play Manchester United tonight. I think 2 hours after this video goes up. So I expect Burnley will lose that in a low-scoring affair, but you never know. I'm going to go for another draw. Another draw, 1-1 between the two teams. If it was a full-strength Leeds team, I'd probably go 2-0 Leeds. But it's not full-strength Leeds, and Burnley will look to frustrate them and try and hit them on the break, maybe get something from a set piece. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. My tip is draw at half-time at 2.2. It was really difficult to come up with a tip and a resounding out-there prediction for this game. After that, Southampton up against Newcastle. I'm going to go for a 4th draw in a row, ladies and gentlemen. I think statistically there's like 2 or 3 draws every game week, and I usually predict 1 or 2, so a bit below the average. This time I'm predicting above the average because I think there's a lot of even games here. Southampton, Newcastle, who the heck knows? I think Southampton should win, but something tells me after Newcastle's result against Man United, they'll have a little bit more belief, and I think they'll be able to get something from this game. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. And my tip is going to be over 2.5 goals at 1.72. In case someone wins 2-1, in case someone goes nuts and win 3-0, you don't have to look at the result or anything like that, just the goals. And I think between Southampton and Newcastle, there'll be a lot of goals because it's a Newcastle game. So that's my prediction there. After that, Chelsea up against Liverpool. This is very, very difficult. Both teams coming off of disappointing results in the previous game week. Liverpool losing to Leicester, but I think Liverpool looked better in that loss against Leicester than Chelsea did in their draw against Brighton, if that makes any sense. So I was originally going to go for a draw, but you know what? I'm going to go out there and go for a Liverpool win. I think Chelsea looked leggy. I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi had a really bad game for Chelsea, and I think Liverpool are just slightly more fine-tuned at this very point. I think it could very well be a draw. It could be a 1-1 when neither team wants to try and make a mistake. But I think after watching the Chelsea-Brighton game and seeing how the midfield just isn't quite right for Chelsea at the moment, I'm just going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool win. But my tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.66 because Chelsea could easily win this one 2-1 or something like that. I think both teams will score, but it's going to be very difficult to predict the result. I've just edged Liverpool off the back of Chelsea's performance against Brighton and Liverpool's against Leicester. I think they'll be more ruthless, and I think Liverpool can win. The final game of the game week, it's Manchester United up against Wolves. United haven't yet played Burnley, as we know, so we can't talk on it, but I expect them to get a 1-0 win. Wolves didn't play their game against Arsenal, so they'll be rested. But I think Man United will have a little bit too much for Wolves. They need a kick up the backside, Manchester United. They need to start winning games. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Manchester United. They have a good recent record against Wolves. My tip, it's going for high value. I could easily say both teams to score. I could say Man United win. I could say over 2.5 goals. I could say over 1.5 goals. But we're going for some cheeky value. Draw half-time Man United full time at 4. I think it could be 1-1 half time. It could be 0-0 half time. I think a recent game in the past was 0-0 half time, 2-1 full time. I think a draw half time and then a Man United late winner plays into the hands of the way Wolves play and the way Man United are often slow starters in these games, and they tend to shine in the second half if they're going to shine. That is going to do it for this video, the final one of 2021. Thank you so much for the support over the year. It's been really, really cool. Drop a like, subscribe. As I said, we're very, very close to 20,000 subscribers. Click the join button to join the members club and get in early on the members only prediction league. You'll find that on the members only community posts. That is going to do it from me. Have an amazing new year, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.